George F Keenan said, "Heroism is endurance for one moment more." Welcome to McBain Moments. Alright guys, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the Manor. Make sure you take a moment and subscribe down below. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time, so make sure you subscribe. Also, please consider going over to patreon.com/JulianMcBain if you want to support my work. All of my members get copies of Personal Finance for Gamers for being a member. Okay. Definition of heroism. There's a lot of definitions of heroism. For most people, when they think of heroes from any hero's journey, right? In the Shannara series, it was Shea. In the sort of Truth series, it was Richard Cypher. These are the people who take up the mantle of difficulty to become more than where they started. And throughout the whole thing, they meet challenge after challenge after challenge. And in order for them to get through it, they have to endure. And toward the end of every hero's journey, you have this ultimate challenge. This thing that you have to face that is just immense to overcome. And so their ability to endure through that ultimate challenge, I think it's called the Darkest Cave in the literature. When doing literature studies, I believe it's called literary studies. That's the word I'm looking for. Literary studies. I believe it's called the Darkest Cave. This is the worst part of the story for the hero, and the only thing they need to do to make it through and win is survive. That's where the real heroism comes out. And for most of us, we don't think of ourselves as heroes. We go through mundane life. We have jobs, we have bills, we have responsibilities. Doesn't feel very heroic. It's routine, it's grind. But inside of us, we all have a bit of hero. We need to tap into that hero in order to be successful. See, heroism isn't about the big things. I mean, talk to anyone who you'd classify as a normal hero, a police officer, a firefighter, EMS worker, soldier, whatever. The medic that runs out into the field and grabs someone under fire and drags them back. Obviously, this person's a hero. But they don't see themselves as a hero. They were just doing their job. The firefighter that runs in and rescues the cat or the children, they were just doing their job. That's not, to them, the definition of a hero. And I'm not saying they're not heroes. They go through these enormous things, these amazing stresses, and they come out on the other side. There's a reason that the biggest killer of firefighters, believe it or not, is not fire, it's heart attacks, because of all the stress. I believe it's the same for police officers. But it's enduring these stresses that create the heroism. And you yourself have the ability to be a form of hero. When you are enduring the stresses of your life, and we're not talking the mundane stresses, we're talking the hard stuff, when you meet the challenges that actually cause you the difficulties, the things that prevent you from making it to the next level, that's where the hero comes out. Because you have two choices. You can either shrink from it or you can rise to it. If you shrink from it, you ain't never going to get anywhere. That was really refined of me, ain't never. If you shrink from it, you're never going to get anywhere. You're just going to stay where you are. And as I'm sure you know by now, stagnation is decay. You never truly stay in the same place for any real length of time. As soon as you stop, you start to go down. So what you have to do is you need to rise. You need to rise to the occasion. You need to rise to the challenges being put before you to become the you really should be. And how do you tap into that? Well, that's different for everyone. Sometimes you got to find a reason. You got to find a cause. You have to find a purpose for you to rise to the challenge. For some people, it's the challenge itself. right? This is big in martial arts. Martial artists will go out and they'll challenge the toughest fighter they can, not because they want to prove their strength necessarily, but they need to prove to themselves that they have the ability to go face a challenge that tough. You know, in my own martial art, I have faced off against people of my own skill level, of people who are much newer than myself, and people who are much tougher than myself. When I go to a field and I'm looking for people to just have, you know, go out and fence, I look for the people that wear the marks of the toughest fighters on the field. Not because I think I'm going to win, but because that's how I gauge my progress compared to the last time I faced them. That's the challenge. No, for me it was a challenge to face one of these people. His name is Dante. Fantastic fighter. Ridiculously fast. And I managed to hold him off for almost 2 minutes. That was my goal. Like, I didn't have a goal of winning, although I did manage, in best 2 out of 3, I managed to hit him once. That shocked me, honestly. But my goal was to hold him off and be able to defend myself for a certain length of time. That was the challenge. And so, those are the challenges that you put yourself up against to bring yourself up. That's how you level up. You know, it's not just about doing the same thing over and over until you have enough XP to level up. It's about pushing the envelope. Because XP gives you diminishing returns in real life. Okay? Talking to you gamers, I know you're my primary audience. XP gives you diminishing returns in real life. That's why it takes, in any video game, if you're at level 1, it takes 12 experience. Well, to get level 2, it's 24. Welcome to real life. And the worst part is that everything's on a sliding scale. So that level 1 challenge that gave you 12 XP the first time, well, it's only going to give you 8 now. Then at level 3, it's going to give you 4. And at some point, it's not going to give you any. You've got to constantly find the tougher challenges. You got to find the inner hero inside of you. You have to endure that hard, dark, difficult place you need to push to find a hero in you in order to win. Can you find the hero in you? This has been a McBain moment.